Imagine if you could have this world on your terms. Imagine if you could be the next star in whatever industry you're in, whatever profession you've chosen. Imagine if you could make the world bend to your will and still not have enemies. How would life be for you? Could you deal with it? Could you embrace the power that goes along with that? More importantly, can you handle the responsibility? When I look at traits and best practices of charismatic leaders, that's what I look towards. I look towards how do they transform the world through mere communication, mere ideas, tenacity, discipline, and more importantly, critical thinking. How do they do it? And more importantly, how can you do it so that your life can be transformational and changed? Right now, you don't have any power. Right now, you walk through life almost like a zombie. You walk through life hoping that ideas and things will come your way and opportunities will fall in your lap. And years and decades go by and you find that nothing has changed. You've gotten older, people are getting older around you, and guess what? You just get downright disgusted and you become disappointed and frustrated with the whole process. Because you never really stop to ask yourself, what's this about? How do I learn the game? How do I learn the game of life? And if the game of life is all about understanding the rules first and know how to play within the rules, and sometimes bending the rules and changing the game to influence how you want to go, once you start thinking those terms, then you can be a force to be reckoned with. But you don't want that. It comes with a price. It comes with work. It comes with a tenacity and discipline that most people don't want to even endure because it's hard work. But think about it. Isn't it harder being in a life with no power, challenged every day without any sense of control, no persuasion, no influence? You walk around in grocery stores, in Walmart and Target, and no one even notices you. But if you had charismatic leadership traits and qualities, how would that change? How could you walk into a room and all of a sudden people, who's that person over there? They want to know who you are. If you can be that person, then you can feel confident. You can feel life is acting according to the big plan that you created for yourself. Until you start embracing that reality of charismatic leadership and the best practices, you will never have life on your terms. I want to encourage you to look at this model of leadership. The charismatic leadership model is the only leadership model I found. And not only am I a practitioner of this, I'm an evangelist of this. My whole life is guaranteed that I will see this to fruition, to see this idea, this compelling leadership model become part of the pantheon of all leadership models and accept it with the same right and the same principles, with the same ideas of learning these traits and principles and best practices so that you can have life on your term. That's my dedication and that's my commitment to myself and to the world. Now, what have you dedicated yourself to? What are you doing that is transformational that you have become an evangelist for? And if you can't answer that question, maybe this is a good time to answer that question. Maybe it's a good time to start asking yourself, how can I be a person who's recognized, influential, and persuasive based on my shared personality, based on my discipline, my tenacity? Start asking that question and start answering that question. Start living life on your terms. It's not going to get any better in this economy. The global economy has created more challenges, upheaval, and immobility than in the annals of 12,000 years of civilization. And it's only going to get worse. So you must ask yourself, where are you going to play in all that? Only control you have is over yourself. You don't have control over the world. Control yourself by understanding the dynamics of successful people who have been transformational, the charismatic leaders of the world.